Yo, Jason Tenori here. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm a dentist in upstate New York. I run a group practice in the Finger Lakes area. The intent of this video is to share some information about an upcoming course that I'm giving on servant leadership. The course is about 6 to 8 sessions done virtually over Zoom. What my intent is over the next 10 minutes or so is to go over all the details regarding this course, when it's going to be, how long it's going to be, what it's going to cost, who it's intended for, so you guys can decide if this is going to be a good fit for you and your team leads. So the first question is why, right? Why are we doing this? Well, leadership, as you know, is just such an ambiguous topic. And it's hard to really put your finger on what exactly it is. And more importantly, from my perspective, how to teach it, how to develop leaders. We have about 150 people in our organization. And without having the understanding of developing levels of leadership, we would never be able to get to the point where we're at. Well, you don't need to have a very large organization to realize that if you can't develop leadership and if you can't help your leaders, your OMs, your team leads keep their own people accountable, help them with their own leadership style, then the wheels come off. It's just not scalable and it's not sustainable. So, what my intention is over a series of live Zoom lessons is to teach not only owner docs, but more importantly, team leads, office managers, the ins and outs of leadership, and everything that I've learned over the last 25 years on not only becoming a good leader, but more importantly, how to operationalize leadership development so you can best teach it and implement it to the people who want to become great leaders in your own organization. So, what is servant leadership? Well, my definition of servant leadership is the skill to influence others to win via high character. Now, that's my own definition, and let's spend a few minutes kind of breaking that up, right? So, servant leadership is a skill. Skill means a learned or acquired ability. That means that you can practice servant leadership and get better, just like you can practice piano and get better. You can practice shooting basketballs and get better. You don't get better at these things from reading a book or watching a video or what have you. You get better from practicing. But the problem with leadership is, what do I practice, right? So I will unpack that for you and your team leads and give you very specific things that you can practice on a regular basis, very specific things that you can do on a regular basis to help develop your servant leadership skills. So, servant leadership is the skill of influencing. By influencing, we mean getting people to want to go to bat for you, getting people to want to do your will. So, how do you influence your team? It's through love. And through love, there's 8 principles of agape love. And we'll spend a majority of the course unpacking each one of those 8 principles: kindness, patience, honesty, humility, respect, selflessness. We'll go through each one of those and what you need to do at a very tactical and granular level, what you need to do within each principle to become the greatest servant leader that you can possibly become. So, servant leadership is the skill of influencing others to win. So, what do I mean by win? Well, in my world, winning has 3 parts. There's a objective part, which is the collections and the production and the new patients and stuff like that. There's the what we call the rallying cry, which is the most important thing that needs to happen right now. And then there's ultimately what we call the winning statement. We'll spend a lot of time unpacking those 3 things because unless the team knows where we're headed, unless we know what winning is, then it's really tough to lead. It's really tough to um, get people rowing the boat in the same direction if there's no clarity on what winning is. So we'll spend a lot of time unpacking what I call the 3 components of winning and help you define what those 3 components of winning are in your own ecosystem. So again, servant leadership, the skill of influencing others to win via high character. And when we talk about high character, we're basically just talking about doing what you know needs to be done, even if you don't want to do it, especially when you don't want to do it. It's developing the courage to, what we say, go into the storm, developing the courage to have difficult conversations, developing the courage to truly love on someone who needs it, right? We have no problem going into the storm with our children. If our kids are acting in a way that's inappropriate, we'll deal with that right away. Why can't we have the same mindset when a hygienist is acting out of sorts, or when an assistant is late for work, or when a doctor is not maintaining the clinical standards that you have set? We have to be able to have these conversations, and we have to be able to have a framework for these conversations so the people that we're talking to understand the expectations, and then we help get them to that consistent level again and again and again. So servant leadership is the skill of creating influence to win via high character. And we'll unpack all of that over 6, 7, 8 sessions. Um, that's what this course is all about. This course is what people have been asking me to develop for a long, long time. This course is what I'm blessed to talk about with a lot of you guys on regular coaching calls when we have sessions. So that's the nuts and bolts of the course. As far as the commitment from you guys, we're going to be meeting at least 6 times, probably closer to 8, but at least 6 times. It'll be on a Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern. Sessions will be anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. The first 45 minutes or so is going to be me presenting material to you, and then the second 30 to 45 minutes is going to be Q&A, discussing real life situations, having you guys ask questions. Jason, how should I handle this? How can I handle that? The investment for founding doctors, the cost of the tuition is going to be $1,500, and for team leads, it's going to be $500. Now that will get you at least 8 hours of CE for you and your team lead, probably more if we creep into some sessions that are above 6 sessions. So $1,500 for founding docs, $500 for team leads and office leads. Obviously, it's a big commitment in terms of your time and finances, but I can assure you that this material has to be learned, it has to be refined, and this is what's holding you back from being able to scale your business. This is what's holding your team leads back from having those difficult conversations. Leadership is everything. It starts and stops with leadership. I can't emphasize this enough. And for me personally, I would spend way too much time focusing on clinical skills, important. Spend way too much time focusing on management, on strategy, on marketing, all really important. But all of the pieces finally started to come together when I really focused on leadership, when I really focused on the relationship, when I really focused on growing people, allowing them to become the best version of themselves. When I started doing that, we took off. So I'm inviting you to participate in this course with me. I know you'll get tons of value. I know it'll be great for you, for your team leads. I'm excited to spend this time with you. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I believe we're starting the second week of May. We're going to limit the class size simply because we don't want to be overwhelmed with a big group. So I would encourage you to get registered as soon as you can. I'm excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to share this material with you. I know you'll love it.